Oh.
Are we ready?
Should I clap?
Yeah, clap.
There, I can see.
All right. Oh, do you guys want to
Can you hear?
Yeah, we'll be wherever
right.
you want us
We'll
to
cut
be.
it in.
Why don't you just
Are you ready?
spread in a little bit?
Like
Just
around
as long
you?
as I'm not in the
Just
frame.
so that you're not behind the camera.
Okay.
All right. But then they can't see you.
No,
Like,
Like,
over here,
like
over
behind
here,
the
over here, over here.
Behind the
That way you're not in
camera?
the shot. That way you're not in the shot.
you can.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We are gathered today to celebrate the official union of Alane Laughlin Sewer and Austin William Alexander. On one hand, this ceremony is one of legalization of a union that has long been established. On the other, it is a wonderful opportunity for our families to celebrate and share with them their official joining of each other and our families together. Austin and Alane, all along the path from your first shared hot cinnamon tea on a walk in the woods to this moment of marriage, you have been making promises and commitments to one another in an informal way. Alane, when you moved out to Seattle to spend the summer with Austin during his internship, little did you both know this was going to be the prequel to an even longer commitment to the West Coast to stay together. And yet Austin did a difficult job search so that you could spend the last several years together in New York. Austin, you have also supported Alane without question during challenging times of her doctoral program, even in the small ways, such as reading drafts of papers aloud to check for errors. All these commitments to one another, in reality, are the real process of a marriage. Love is a verb. Love is a choice. You don't just make that choice once, but you make it again and again through the good times and bad. Today, you made the choice to declare your love in a legal ceremony. But the symbolic vows you are about to make are not just the requirements of the state of New York to be legally wed. They are also a way of officially saying to one another and to your families, you know all those things we've promised and hoped and dreamed over these many years? Well, I meant it all, every word. Alane and Austin have written their own vows, which they will share now.
All right. Mine's gonna be kind of long, so. All right. I have hold your hand, right?
Yes, hold your hands.
All right. So I started writing in a journal in fall of 2015 when I first met Austin, and I stopped writing in the journal when I didn't really need it anymore, only a month later. In the first entry, I challenged myself to make myself happy, even if it also made me vulnerable. At the time, I was really anxious about two things. First, to ask for recommendation letters for grad school, and also how to ask Austin out, or at least how to get to know him better. At the time, we were good acquaintances. We hung around a lot and joked around in the computer science lounge, and we complained about a databases class and stuff like that. In that journal entry, I decided that the only way that I would confront these fears is if I actually planned how to do it. So I actually wrote a step-by-step plan on how I was going to ask for the letters and how I was going to ask Austin to dinner. And I actually followed these plans exactly. And a week later, I ended up sitting next to Austin on a bench at the observation deck of High Banks Metro Park, drinking hot tea. And now, even when I struggle to challenge myself that same way that I did in the journal, Austin stands up for that bold but elusive version of myself that got me where I am today, literally. But I don't think I have the time right now to go into all the other ways and reasons that I love you, Austin. And anyway, the entire time we've known each other, we really haven't had to, so much can go unsaid because we understand each other so well and we can communicate cryptically. We don't really have to explicitly say things to each other. But to conclude, because this is somewhat redundant, or although this is somewhat redundant to how we exist together already, but I wanted to vow a few things to our marriage. All right. So I love how we communicate so transparently with each other. You're probably the only person that I know I can make sense with and with whom interaction is never exhausting. I want us to keep thinking about communication, however we define it, as a central part of our relationship. I want to keep caring for each other. I really appreciate the labor that you put into our relationship, and I want to reflect that back to you. And I love how we challenge each other in many different ways. I've learned so much from our conversations, and I really want to continue growing as people together.
not as long.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alane, ever since we first started dating, I felt so lucky to have you in my life. Even when we only known each other for a few months, it felt like we had already known each other for years. And now that we have known each other for years, it feels like we're already married. I have loved all the time we spent together, and I want to spend as much more as possible with you. I'll continue to support you in all your aspirations. I want to be there for you, and I promise to be your best friend and take care of you.
Okay. Just a second. All right. It is now time to declare your intent to one another. I will start with you, Austin. Do you, Austin William Alexander, take Alane Laughlin Sewer to be your lawfully wedded spouse? If so, answer, I do.
I
Do you, Alane Laughlin Sewer, take Austin William Alexander to be your lawfully wedded spouse?
I do.
If so,
Oh,
answer, I do.
I do.
It is now time to exchange the rings. The ring is a simple symbol of the commitments you have made to each other officially and a constant reminder of each other, even when you are apart. Alane, repeat after me, and you can give Austin the ring as you do so. I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a visible and constant symbol
as a visible and constant symbol
of my promise to be with you
of my promise to be with you
and love you as long as I live.
and love you as long as I live.
Austin, repeat after
That's
me.
the wrong hand.
I give you this ring
give you this ring
as a visible and constant symbol
as a visible and constant symbol
of my promise to be with you
of my promise to be with you
and love you
and love you
as long as I live.
as long as I live.
I have to get to the other side now. By the power vested in me by the beautiful state of New York, I now pronounce you married. You may now kiss your spouse. Let us support them and celebrate with them, not just today, but always. Yay! I don't know how to turn it off. Congratulations!
Yay! Yeah, I guess so.
I made it!
10 minutes ago.
I just did a teeny tiny. Congratulations!
Aw, thank you.
Welcome, son. Congratulations!
Gotta give everyone a hug.
You are now my brother-in-law.
John, Mason.
You guys should get some pictures with the same background.
Yes.
I know, it's so pretty.
Yes. We need some pictures.
You know what you have to do now? Every time you go back to New York, you put here and take a
Exactly.
picture with the rock.
Oh,
on the
every
rock.
time, yes.
Yeah, for years and years.
All right, I'm getting these shoes back off.